All right, so I am super excited. Harlem, at this point, I've probably watched it like 5 times, like literally. And every time I watch an episode, I see something new. So really,
Yeah.
really excited. But just starting with the group question, and I'll start with you, Juani. How does it feel? What's the experience been like being a part of the resurgence of such a strong Black women lead series? Like, how do you feel about that?
It's been very exciting. There's been such a positive response. Everybody wants season 2. Everybody's so excited about the show, and it's a show that people genuinely enjoy and are telling their friends and family about. And we've been receiving a lot of love. I think everybody in this cast has been getting an outpour of love from people that watch the show or identify for the character with the characters that we play. For me, it's been very rewarding. Getting a lot of love from the LGBTQ community. I think, Jerry and I spoke about how awesome it is that there's multiple LGBTQ storylines in the show, including with Jonathan, who plays Angie's,
Yeah. Oh, boo.
the boo, you know what I mean? There's so many storylines, and I think that's very refreshing, and it's different. It's something we haven't seen on TV. And I think, people just want to be represented and see themselves in these storylines. And Isabella and Ty are very different. So we get people just love
a good spectrum. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Robert, what about you?
I love that the show has the parental parameters, and then being a young person in the 21st century around those expectations, whether it be Jasmine Guy's character, Ian's mom on the show, Whoopi Goldberg's character, sort of fall into the box, and then none of the characters fit into any boxes. I think that's the best part of the show. And I think that, the interpersonal relationship, the 21st century dating, I think is incredible. That it's difficult living in this sort of swipe life environment where you're I'm underwater, don't know which way's up.
Yeah.
And that everyone and all across North America is watching this show, being identify with that character, identify with that character. Get your popcorn, keep watching. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point with dating, I'm good if somebody signs me up with an arranged marriage, and I'm pretty sure my mom, she's probably very close to it. So yeah,
we're gonna get Ty's character on that app too.
Yeah, listen, need to be. Sullivan, what about you?
For me, it's really interesting because the story is about these four Black women, and then in real life, Tracy is creating the world. It's so we're propping up women. I'm propping up Camille in the story, and then in real life, it's being on Tracy's ship. And it's the first time that I've worked with a Black female showrunner and creator. And she knows, she is honestly one of the coolest people I've ever worked with. She gets the humor of the piece, she gets the drama of the piece. And I feel like she just surrounds herself with people that are there to support her and support the vision. So that's been a lot of fun, is working with Tracy.
Okay, dope. So I have individual questions, and I'm gonna start with you, Robert. In one of our favorite episodes, which is episode 6, you leave, Quinn, because she's made up this whole story about you. How did you feel doing that scene? And have you ever actually walked out on somebody before when they've made you uncomfortable?
I think it was so important for Sean to hold his ground. They're having the best date. They had this prom picture, and it just seems like they're just seamlessly already enjoying each other's company and love, and they're at this dance party, and then she completely devalues and devalidates his entire existence because he doesn't fit into her white collar friend group. And I'm sure that there's tons of young people all across America that don't have a traditional job. If you're an influencer now, you do different stuff than what the traditional parents did. Same thing with DJs, and you're oh, you can't be that job, have that career, and be in my life in front of my friends and in front of my family with me sharing that about you. That's messed up. Yeah. And so I think that it was cool for him to say listen, I'm gonna take off, because if you want that God, that's not me. And then she chases him back and listen, I'm sorry for judging you. And he put the spotlight on that's exactly what your mom do to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think that was a good story point for it to come sort of full circle with that one.
Absolutely. I agree. When we watched the scene, we all were thinking about like, man, this is what therapy is for, right? When Quinn has that moment. So it's definitely dope. As somebody who's a therapy advocate, I'm like,
it also shows you though, it also shows you that like when the things your parents sort of put on you that you don't even like, it starts to like adopt into your character. You start doing that to other people. And then to see that on camera, I think that was great.
Yeah, likewise. All right, so Sullivan, my question is for you. Would you in real life do a deep dive on somebody before you go on a date with them?
Be honest.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, look here. I think there's two different ways of doing it. One is the information publicly available?
Okay.
So if someone posts something and it's out in the world, then it's out there. And if I'm meeting someone and trying to impress them and trying to create a space or an environment where they feel comfortable and they're having a good time, then I think it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
but if I'm like calling up the NSA and be like, yo, let me get the drop on this girl that I'm trying to meet, then I think that's crossing a boundary.
Amaya, is that even fair? The fact that every girl does a deep dive on a dude. They will go through Instagram all the way back to 2015.
Not 2015.
They will go and see who's tagged in your photos and go. I feel like women are always the CIA, and then we got to watch a dude do it for the advantage of being chivalrous. And then he got flack for it. What's up with that?
So listen, we didn't give him flack, actually. And this is why I only got like 7 pictures on my Instagram, because people nosy, right? But apparently when you're in the media life, I need more stuff. I'm working on that. But we actually thought it was really cool because we agreed with what Sullivan said in his character line, which was, it's really hard planning a good date. So, I mean, do what you got to do, impress, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Right.
Juani, my question is for you is, have you ever had a drunken moment and invited somebody out on a date? And if so, how did it turn out?
Drunken moment. I haven't had a drunken moment where I asked somebody out on a date. I mean, I've asked plenty of people out on dates. What do you mean in terms of like possibly not being in the right state of mind and making the decision?
Like just being uninhibited, like not being afraid. So, some people will say that, alcohol, will allow you to be a little bit freer. So have you ever had a moment?
I think I've taken it a little step further than Quinn has. Not necessarily take a date, but maybe pull in a girl for a kiss, because why not? Even if like, I don't care whether you're straight or not, I'm interested in you, and pulled in a girl for a kiss. Yes, I've done that. But sometimes you just like have to follow your gut and do what you feel in the moment. And if it blows up in your face, it blows up in your face, but maybe it won't. Right. Yeah. So especially when you're young, you just need to take risks.
I'm all about taking risks. At this point, I shoot my shot in everybody's DM, because at some point something's gotta give.
Something's gonna hit.
Yeah. So my last question for all of you is, what do you hope to see in season 2 for each of your characters? And I'll start with you, Sullivan.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to explore. I mean, Jameson, he's leaving at the end of the season. He's going to Chicago. So it'd be cool to explore his professional life. Why is he in Chicago? What is he doing in Chicago? And then potentially keeping the conflict up between Jameson and Ian. In maybe a long distance type situation. Like, what does that look like if Jameson comes back unannounced, or if Camille goes to Chicago? Situations like that could be interesting.
Okay, cool. What about you, Juani?
I'm interested in seeing Quinn and Isabella give it a go at a relationship. First they have to go on this date. Isabella needs to, decide whether okra is for her or not. But I think that, given how open and loving Quinn is, I think she is going to fall a little deeper not in love. I think she's going to want to pursue something with Isabella. But then I'm very curious to see how we navigate the conflict with Sean still being someone that she also has feelings for. How does Patricia fall into the picture? Like, you know, how is this going to change all of their relationships? Because Isabella does have a working relationship with Quinn's mom. Is this going to further hinder Quinn and Patricia's relationship, or is Patricia going to shift this relationship? You know, like, I think there's so much to unpack there. And I'm really excited for us to see Isabella doing her thing as a politician, and how Quinn will be there for her as a potential partner, and how she's going to help Quinn grow.
Nice. Okay. Robert, last but not least.
I love Sean's relentlessness. People have walls up, and Quinn has more walls up than anybody. And there needs to be somebody who's strong and secure enough that she can start helping her tear these walls down that were created by her expectations, by her mom, all these things to sort of like shelter herself, pull those down, and then really see who Quinn is. And the fact that he just, like, you know, we've seen that he's the kind of guy that every girl deserves to date, because he's already in love with her. And he's like, listen, I'm dropping all my walls. You can babysit my son. You can I'll be in your place. I'll show up for you in front of your friends and bring you your jewelry back. He's got no walls. And he's like, I'm going to help her take down all that scaffolding. So I'm excited about that.
Well, I love it. Y'all keep me in y'all prayers for a man to come in my life. That's, you know, between Sean and Jameson.
I got you, girl.
We're manifesting it. We're manifesting it.
I'm here for it.
Where you at? Where you at?
I'm in Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's right. DMV.
Yeah, the DMV. Yep. So it was, listen, I loved Harlem. As somebody who's from New York, I know sometimes we separate Harlem from everywhere else, but New York as a whole, just the culture is amazing. I'm super excited to see what you know, comes forth in the future. I'm going to manifest a season 10 for y'all. You feel me?
Yes.
I'm saying, I love that.
So I love it. Thank you so much.
I got a question. Do you feel like the show is representing like what it's like to be, you know, a young person, a young professional in the 21st century, like with the way that they set it up with, like, Ian's got his restaurant, he's trying to get off the ground, and, you know, everyone's sort of really being ambitious and very entrepreneurial with what they're trying to do and figure out what they're going with their professional life and still have their friends and still have their dating. Do you feel like you can see this show always representing what it's like being a 21st century?
Absolutely, 110%. We were talking about that last night. A friend of mine, well, I had him watching it, and he said, you know, we talked about the difference between doing what's stable, right? Because most of the time our parents put the expectations for you to be stable, but they don't necessarily think about if what you're doing that keeps you stable is what you're doing that makes you happy. And we are actually in a place where we're like, we want to be happy. Dating out here it is a little challenging, right? Because you got to be careful with the words you use. But I think Harlem does an amazing job at just giving everybody a character to look at and say, like, man, like that's me, you know, or no, like that's me, or I'm half and half, you know. So I love the diversity of what they're doing with the characters, and you all have done an amazing job embodying them. So thank you for that.
I love
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. So good to see you.
Yes, it was amazing.
I can interview you all day. I got mad more questions.
I'm about to get off and follow you right now, Rob. I just need to. I'm following all of y'all.
Talking about it. I want to ask you some questions about watching it with your boys too, and seeing like what their take is on it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm here for it. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right,
bye. Happy holidays.
Same to you.